I don't know, something like that.
Mr. Pete,
Something
you
like
excelled
that.
yourself.
Did I?
Yes, Ambassador, you are spoiling us with your licks of the day.
With the licks and the tricks of the spring.
Welcome back to Andertons TV.
I can still hear it.
Would you like to announce our important message?
Yes.
Go, do it now.
If the guys from Gamechanger Audio was here right now, they would ask you to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you want to see more videos, there's a pop-up banner up in the corner there for you to click on.
They would.
I'm sure they would.
Anyway, I don't know.
I can still hear it.
I don't know what they put in Latvian coffee.
Or water for that matter.
But the guys at Gamechanger Audio...
Cocaine, probably.
Yeah, quite possibly. Have a bit of a track record for making some crazy pedals. We had the freeze pedal that looked like a piano sustain pedal going back 3 or 4 years. We had the plasma drive that actually had like the tubey light bulby thing in it that you could see all the crazy lightning going through it to make the fuzz tones. And now we have the light pedal, which
I can hear it when you talk loudly.
There's a horror movie sound effect for you. Literally, okay. Go into your kid's bedroom at night, just after maybe just before they're about to fall asleep. But totally, leave your phone audio on. Ready? Anyway,
I mean, just put a little speaker, put a YouTube, a Bluetooth speaker in, and then hook it up in the kids' cupboard.
Anyway,
in the cupboard. Mommy, Daddy,
yes, back in the room
under my bed.
Okay, so the light pedal is a traditional spring reverb tank, and I guess hopefully in our overhead camera you maybe saw the little springs through the glass top here. And some of the tone that we're getting from this pedal, we're plugging the guitar straight in the front of this and going into the guitar amplifier, like old school reverb. Of course, you could put this through the effects loop of your amplifier if you would prefer.
Yeah.
And then I suspect it'll be slightly more subtle within the mix, won't quite be what we had there. There's no rights or wrongs there, that's just whatever works for you. So you've got a proper spring reverb in here. This, though, is where it gets clever. You've got infrared kind of lights and sensors going across the springs. Yeah. So as the springs are moving, even like minuscule amounts of movement, the infrared sensors the optical sensors are picking up that movement and also applying effects like a reverb style effect. And then you can, using the modes this is, you can blend in different, you can get it to work like a traditional reverb, or you can get it to do tremolo effects and modulated style reverbs. You can get it to do all kinds of feedback reflections. And it's kind of, if I'm honest with you, it's almost like if you need to understand this pedal technically, you need to go to the Gamechanger website and download the manual and read it.
It's complex inside that.
I'm just going to give you an idea of some tones.
Is it heavily? What's the weight?
Is it blue tack to the... it's not light, but it's like a bag of sugar.
You're not getting it, are you?
Because it's light.
It's a light
sorry.
pedal.
Should we cut that bit out as well?
No, we shall not.
Okay, fine. Right.
That was the joke, man.
I thought you were going like, if it's on my pedal board, is it going to be wet? You mean, is it a light pedal? Yes, it is.
Is it a light pedal? Yes, it's a light pedal. Okay.
Right. So... Now we've got 3 volume controls down this left-hand side here. One for the dry signal, one for the actual spring reverb tank, and one for the optical sensors and the effects that they bring in. Then we've got a tone control, and we're on the right-hand side, we've got some different modes that it'll work in. A control feature, which essentially is linked to the modes. So an easy example would be when I'm on Tremolo Mode, the control does how fast the tremolo works. Drive, so how much are we driving in? And if you're sort of familiar with oldie-fashioned reverb tanks, of course, if you drive the reverb tank quite hard, you can get almost like a distorted reverb effect, or not if you want to. And then there's a very clever gate here, which in its 12 o'clock position is off. If you go left, it works like a traditional noise gate, and if you go right, it's more like a ducking effect, where it will duck the reverb whilst you're playing and then bring it in when you're not playing.
He likes a bit of...
yes, that is anyway. The switches at the top here dictate whether or not you're going to have tails on or off when you switch the pedal off. And over this side, you can decide whether or not the switch is a latching switch or an unlatching switch, a momentary switch. So here we go.
And there's a
oh, that's what Pete's got on the floor.
So
an
I've
optional
got,
extra.
There's an optional extra of a this is the Boss EV30 expression pedal to express yourself,
and that will take over the role of the control function when that's
I'm just putting it all the way down. You want to unplug it for now?
Yeah, let's unplug it, and then I shall retake over control.
There's a hole in there, look, put a hole in it, see?
It's just amazing. Okay, let's add a bit of dry signal, make sure the gate's halfway up, turn the pedal on, and we should have no reverb, but some sound. There we are. So let's add a little spring reverb.
It's a great spring reverb. It's even got the flutter.
Well, of course it has, because it's got 3 springs in here that you can see.
But you would think that it sounds like a bigger spring, doesn't it?
I must admit, I've always found that, you know, because some amps have a short reverb tray in them and some have a longer reverb tray in them. And it doesn't mean more or less reverb. It's just the type of, it's the sound of the reverb. And I personally prefer the sound, or at least in the experience I've had, I prefer the sound of the slightly shorter reverb tray. But whatever. I'm not an expert. You'd need an expert in reverb trays to tell you what the difference between having a reverb tray that's that long, like in this, or that long that might be an amp, or that. If
like
it's
the
like
Andertons, they do the different modules.
So anyway, we can go. I mean, I probably should say right now, I don't think that this pedal is aimed at the guy or the girl that just wants a bit of reverb. This is definitely aimed at someone that wants to be much more experimental with their reverb effects, right?
Well, you could just have it as a spring. It's probably one of the best spring reverbs I've heard in a long time.
Okay.
It sounds great as a spring reverb. It's a great spring reverb.
Fine.
You know, but if you want to pay the money for it.
Well, okay, so let's just see what happens as I wind the spring reverb all the way around.
See what I mean? As a spring reverbs go,
I take it back.
It's a great spring reverb.
That is super old school, authentic.
Exactly,
Isn't it?
And it reminds me a little bit of that Anna sound. I know this is not that demo, but because it's a real spring, it's different from any kind of IR or whatever. But it really does sound great.
Fine. Okie dokie. So that's the spring side. Let's see if we just play with the optical side, whether that's sort of, you know, how audibly different that is. Funny. I don't even understand how this even works. The optical
so now
side.
It's not the spring. Now it's the optical light that goes through the spring.
Yeah.
It's different.
Let me try. Right. So here's the spring.
It doesn't have the boinginess. Do you know?
Okay.
You know the boinginess I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
You're right. So it's much smoother, isn't it?
It's much smoother.
More like a cathedral reverb. Or
it's more like
that.
a big cathedral whole thing. Yeah. How massive does that get then? Oh.
What am I started adjusting something. I'm going to have to refer to the manual. I apologise.
So they've got different lights.
Use the control knob to select different optical sensor pairs. Whatever that means.
Yeah, so that must be. It looks like there's a blue and a green and a red and an orange. See, orange.
Look, you've got one at the end, then another one a bit further down, then another one, and then another one.
And then what? Then you can blend in the spring reverb now, right? So you pick one and then you blend in a spring.
I'm just going to go.
That one. That looks good.
All of them, yes.
And then try to blend in. Blend in the spring. No, don't take that. Just... got the blend of the spring and it's still going. That's wonderful.
It's pretty epic.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
If I show you a little bit, I might as well do the gate while we're here before we go into the effects. So this is turning it clockwise, gives you a duct effect.
It's still going. So when I play,
it should duck the reverb down.
Duck it.
Yeah.
If I play it hard, it ducks it even harder.
And you can hear as soon as I go counterclockwise or anti-clockwise, it's more of a traditional gate.
Yeah, it closes it quickly.
And you can adjust, you know, the less you turn that up, the less fast the gate will be.
Side is the London pops and the other side is the Isle of Man pops, isn't it? That's kind of what it is, isn't it? That's a good analogy.
No, in the middle it's the Isle of Man pubs.
Oh yeah.
On the left it's the
London.
It's the London pubs.
Yeah.
I don't know what would you call a ducked pub? Is that where you go but you just when the police come you just duck? Is it like that? I don't know what country's doing that.
That's down in Somerset somewhere.
One or two,
it's a lockdown after 3 o'clock. It's a lock-in. Lock-in is called, not a lockdown. A lock-in.
Okay, so
you shouting at it, it can tell it.
Now we're going to start playing with some of the modes, see what they do. So the first mode is called Sweep, Sooty and Sweep, and according to this, it's a modulation thing.
Yeah, look at the light.
There you go. That's what it's doing.
You know what it reminds me of? Have you watched the Abyss? Have you watched the Abyss?
Yes.
With the aliens.
Water thing.
Yeah, with the aliens. It's got that light going on.
Do you remember Battlestar Galactica? If that was red, the little robots used to have the thing that used to go.
Well, like Knight Rider.
Kind of like Knight Rider. Yeah.
Yes! It controls the speed, man! Speed!
I'm taking back control, Captain.
Oh man, that's awesome. What's good pedals today, man? It's a good pedal day here today.
It's good pedal day, right?
Good pedals.
Tremolo pedal. If you want to know what we're talking about, by the way, here's a link to the other good pedal demo that we did
it'll
today.
be up in the corner. Tremolo.
Here is, so same idea, but instead of modulation, more of a tremolo style effect. I've unplugged your cable.
I know you have. It's fine. You do the gate maybe so it doesn't duck it so much.
Now we're only modulating the reverb. So what I did there whilst Pete was playing is I just dropped the volume of the dry signal down to try to make it easier for you guys to hear what was happening. Obviously you can set this however you want to do, but it's the reverb that's tremoloing, which is kind of cool.
Reverb is tremoling.
This next one is called Reflect. This is where you're supposed to just sit there, think about how the day's gone. Did you smile at that passerby as they came past you? Perhaps you should have done.
Did you say hello to some random stranger in the street?
This is a lo-fi delay that will send the instrument signal back into the reverb tank several times, whatever that means.
Back in several times. It's always just only a couple of times. Put a bit of a light speed on there.
I want this like as mood lighting in my house.
In the bedroom. A big one in the ceiling, Lee.
Yeah, like a massive
one. But
anyway.
it's controlled by your voice, which means that it'll never, ever make any. There's no light coming ever in the bedroom. What's happening here?
This is called feedback mode, which sets the spring tank, as you can hear. Hang on.
The gate.
Okay, feedback mode selects the spring, or sets the spring tank into self-oscillation.
It's doing it.
Okay, this is where they were talking about using the momentary foot switch a bit more, because the idea is it's basically the reverb tank's going to feed back as you play.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So hang on.
So I do a chord and you hit it.
This is right. The manual here would suggest it's like lots of potential when paired with the expression pedal or when in momentary mode. So here we go. I'm putting the expression pedal in. I think this is about maybe going to get some weird drone tones and all that kind of
drone
stuff.
Tone.
Who knows?
Hashtag drone tone.
So you give me the nod or the wink when.
I'm not sure.
Harmonies are working with the major chords.
No, because I think maybe it's just like
single notes.
oh my God!
Lots of random notes there. Lots of random overtones.
I couldn't find out where it goes. I can't figure out.
Yeah,
where does it go with the?
Random.
I mean, can you imagine having 2 feet on that? So you have to have one on here and then one with the expression pedal at the same time.
I love it. This last mode, harmonic mode,
what is it called?
Harmonic. Harmonic mode is supposed to produce lots of overtones and harmonics, a bit like a shimmer reverb.
Oh, lovely.
But only produced naturally within the reverb tank. I don't know how shimmer is normally produced, but hey ho, so obviously this is just from the reverb tank. I'm going to unplug your thing. What do you want it in?
Yeah, no, unplug me and then we'll plug it in the end. Here we go. Okay, I see.
I think you've got to tune the shimmer.
Yeah, you choose the shimmer to get the higher harmonies. So I have to put the expression pedal in and see what it does.
I will. So you can control the harmonies yourself.
Oh, wow. This is, let's try to do this because there's a little switch on the back.
It's not. Oh, maybe it does.
It sounds like a little mouse.
It's like a whale in the sea.
I mean, it's...
Can I suggest that perhaps those last two modes are for, you know, a little bit more experimentally kind of thing.
You need to
so I'm
experiment
going to go
with
back
that for a
to the sweep mode.
Yeah.
Because that was the one that had the sort of modulated effect on it, which I really liked and I think was, you know, kind of usable by most guitar players that like, you know, sort of big ambient tones.
Yeah.
And Pete, you can just play us out. Look at that!
I mean, it is cool, isn't it? It is very, very cool. These guys, take these guys out anyway. There'll be links below.
Yeah.
For this pedal, of course, the light, not so heavy pedal, and everything else they do. So we say thank you for watching.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah. And hopefully you got something out of it. I mean,
I think if nothing else,
I need to spend some more time with this. I think.
Yeah.
Especially those 2 extra modes there. That's interesting. It's an interesting thing.
See where this takes you, Pete.
See where it takes me.